Then, after I mentioned the ideas here, just going to say something here. Mistakes, they should fall there and there. Okay. This gives rise to, shall we say, alien and generally erroneous use of many words in the English lexicon. Okay, by the way, lexicon means, or just in the English vocabulary and so on, okay? Right, you can use lexicon to say about the words associated with a certain profession, but okay. To alien and generally erroneous use to many words in the English vocabulary. I think this gives rise to alien vocabulary and use of many words to I'm just going to move this sentence a bit up. Right, so those who say that students need to not learn a second language mention that the fact that many students fail to learn their own mother tongue adequately. This gives rise to erroneous, and I have removed alien. To erroneous use, of course, erroneous comes from error. Erroneous. Okay, error. And from it comes erroneous. Okay? Of course, using such words are, well, it's encouraged, but don't use too much of them. Erroneous used to many words in the English vocabulary. All right. American students, for instance, are often ignorant of the difference between you and there and there. All right? Learning these differences is, in some opinions, or in some people's then is, according to some, much more important than learning Spanish. The second language in the United States is Spanish, by the way. Right? I think this point would be a bit weak. I'm going to remove this. Okay? And here, I'm going to mention these two because I don't really think this point is very good. So let's continue. Children learn very quickly before 10, and languages help make students smarter. So, what these people fail to mention is that children or ages 10 and below learn much more quickly than high schoolers message. Okay? Just a moment. Then high schoolers. Alright? This has been proven time and time again. Alright? This has been proven time and time again, and many education systems take benefits of this fact to try and teach their young as much information as possible. Alright? Of course, I don't have a very good example for this, so I'm going to skip ahead. Alright? Of course, this makes for explanation and all that. Alright? If I want to repeat something here, has been proven time and time again, maybe instead of time and time again, by okay, I don't have proof of this, right? Is that in my, I won't say it has been proven, right? Because is that in my opinion, okay, children ages 10 below learn much more quickly than high schoolers, and many education systems take benefit of this fact, not face, right? Fact, to try and teach their young as much information as possible. All right? So here, this is in my opinion, this is what I think. All right? But here is another thing. Even more, all right? And I'm going to add a linking phrase at the beginning of this one is, on the other hand. Okay? What these people fail to mention is that, in my opinion, of course, yeah, this one remove. In my opinion, children and so on. Even more, or moreover, research has proven that children who learn another language, okay, who learn two languages simultaneously tend to be smarter and excel academically, okay, as they are growing up, which means that, all right, I excel academically as they're growing up, right? And maybe I'm going to join those two together because they're more or less the same point here. Moreover, research has proven that children that learn two languages as they are growing up. I think it's better that I'm just going to do it here. Okay? course, you have 40 minutes to do as much management here as possible. And since you won't have to use a computer in the IELTS test, you don't have to have all of these screens and mice and all that. Yeah, come on. Here we are. As they grow. Alright? That learn 2 languages simultaneously tend to be smarter and excel academically as they are growing up. Let's provide an example. Alright? One of my friends, for instance, has learned English and German or French as a child, learned English and French as a child since he was growing up in France. French as a child, as an Arabic-speaking child. As an Arabic you learned as an Arabic-speaking child here, P-A-K-I-G, since he was living in France. Now he is a very successful doctor, physician, a successful physician who owns a clinic in Dubai. Something like that. Okay? Putting all of it, I want to sum it up or to summarize. Okay? Or in conclusion. Okay? I don't believe that a second language affects or negatively affects the academic progress of a child. In contrast, it helps him be more successful in primary and secondary school alike. Right? So I can see here that this is a bit 350 words, I think. So this is a bit much. Let's see. 67. Right? This is again Moreover, research has proven. And finally, IE. That's second language. Of course, I have many spelling mistakes. This is about 274 words. Exactly what I need. Okay? 274 words is not much, and this will help you be more controlling of your language. In fact, you may want to add, I would want to add a proof here. What these people fail to mention is that, in my opinion, children of ages 10 and below learn much more quickly than older people. Or just than high schoolers. And many education systems take benefit of that to try and teach their young as much information as possible early on. Okay? Now again, I just want to check for something, which is the apostrophes, the use of apostrophes. So don't say something like you're here, you are, or I am, or it's, it apostrophe s. No, it's it is. All right. So this concludes our second task. I'll move quickly to the third one here, which is the map. The map. This one. This is one of the unfair questions that came in the IELTS academic module. The first task in this thing was not to describe a graph, but rather to describe an entire map. All right? Now, if you're a general student, please do not watch this, or of course you can watch this, but this will not help you in your test. Please skip to the very end, where I'll be talking a bit about the speaking or taking a sample speaking test. For the academic readers, for academic test takers, let's take a look at this, at these two islands. First of all, take a look at the island from very far away and see, and don't notice the differences, but rather the similarities, or in more details, what the island looks like. So we have what? We have an island here. There is a forest, I think, to the right, or to the... There should be a compass marker here, something like this, and this. Okay, and then we have the letters north, south, east, west. All right, you know what I mean. This marker here. I'm going to assume that this direction, all right, that this direction up there is north. So to the east of the island, there are palm trees. Here, there's a formation of palm trees to the east of the island, in addition to a beach to the west and maybe cliffs to the... No, not cliffs. Maybe just sea. Okay. Now, when they constructed the thing, we have a group of huts to the east and a smaller one to the west. Okay. This beach was made for swimming. Let me just make the circles in another color, like blue. So, yeah, cyan. So we have this part here. We have a formation or a group of huts to the west and group of huts to the east. We have the reception, and the restaurant is behind it. Okay. I'm going to just circle the restaurants like these, like this. And of course, the pier on the southern end was constructed. All right. So first, we can begin from the outside and we move on to the inside. So we first mention the pier, okay, and then the reception. We move on to the west to find a group of huts and a beach, and to the east there is an even larger group of huts, okay, and to the north there is a restaurant. Full stop. Now, let's take a look. Of course, it's always good to take a look at the head of the question, at the question heading. 2 maps include show an island before and after the construction of some tourist facilities. Summarize the information by selecting and reporting the main features and make comparisons where relevant. Let's make comparisons. Of course, the main comparison here is, I don't think that there is a main comparison except that the only place they haven't changed much in the island. Okay, the trees are there, here and here, okay, and the beach is still there. They haven't changed anything in the geography, and I think the only change they made was that they surrounded these trees by houses, or by some huts. Let's see. I'm going to talk about the islands in general. Here we are. So we have an island. Okay. East, palm trees. West, smaller formation plus beach. Maybe. What else? Palm trees and the sea. I think, of course, since it's an island, so the sea surrounds it from all sides. Then the resort was constructed. First, a pier has been built on the southern end of the island, or on the southern side of the island. Pier, southern side. Here we are. What else? Now remember to take a look at the legend here. These are footpaths, while these are vehicle tracks. Be very careful of the difference. So a vehicle track leads from the pier to the reception, okay, or leads from the pier to a roundabout around the reception, or maybe a circle, a track that revolves around the reception, and then to a restaurant. Footpaths link the reception to a group of huts to the west and to the beach on the western end of the island. To the east of the reception there is also a group of huts, and beyond that the group of palm trees was not mentioned or was not touched. So, southern side tracks or vehicle tracks link the pier and reception plus restaurant. Then footpaths to group of huts to the west plus beach. Then group to the east, right? Palm trees untouched, west, okay? Untouched to the west as well. Now, group to the east and palm trees untouched to the west. I would like to make a conclusion. My conclusion is that even though lots of things were constructed, no changes to the island itself was made. So, construction, no change. Okay, so here we are. But before I start writing, I'm just going to take a small break, okay, and then get back to you. Please excuse me for a moment. Hello again. Let's continue. Now, if we begin writing, I'll say that the maps show a relatively small island, because I think that it's only 400 meters, or it's just only 200 meters across. So it's very small. So show a relatively small island on which a tourist resort was built. On which a tourist resort was built. Let's see. Tourist resort was built. A notable difference was made the maps show a relatively small island on which a tourist resort was built. In or before the construction, okay, the island was what? The island was not barren. No, barren. Barren is nothing on there. Was populated by only a group of palm trees in the eastern end and just a moment. Was populated by only a group of palm trees in the eastern end, while the western end had a smaller group in addition to a beach. Okay, to a beach which is maybe I think that's 100 meters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is about what? 25 meters across, which is about 25 meters across. All right.